Now, while I don't like to bitch about things that are not terribly pertinent to gameplay, this recent happening, if you will, or this recent thing that happened with the Crown Store is pretty ridiculous. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Elk Mount, which was this interesting little mount they released for the New Life Festival, I believe. And the thing that makes this Elf Mount really stand out is not really that it has anything special going for it, because it is just a basic animal that is in game currently, but with a saddle slapped onto it. You can currently see this animal usually in, I think, Orsinium quite frequently. But what makes this mount particularly special is its price tag. Now, if you don't know, high-end exotic mounts can reach as high as 4,000 crowns, which is close to about $30. When roughly translated from the highest percentage of dollar to crown. Usually, if you buy the 50 crown pack, it's $1 per 137.5 crowns. Now for this brand new elk, it is a grand total of 4,500 crowns, which is more expensive than the Dromothra mount, which included special animations, special effects, and had its own little thing going on with it. Even had its own personalized skin. That, on its own end, was $4,000, and the community had an absolute hissy fit with it. And it was pretty justifiable because the mount was absurdly expensive at the time. Nothing come close to that at the point, except maybe the Ice Horse at that point. But the thing that makes the elk seem particularly outrageous, not just because of its absurdly high price at $32 minimum, but what also makes the elk mount especially heinous is the fact that not only it doesn't come with anything special animation-wise, it doesn't even have its evolving armor set. Now, if you get 25, say, in carrying, speed, or stamina, your mount will either have armor, a extra carrying pack on it, or some sort of leather straps to sort of suggest that the mount has become even faster. This mount doesn't even have that. This mount, as it currently stands, is missing basic visual features that have come standard with every mount in this game as of late. This mount is the only mount currently that I know of that actually doesn't even fulfill basic standards of mounts. And mounts generally go for 1,800 crowns in the crown store, so this mount should theoretically be placed lower than 1,800 crowns, but is placed at 250% of a 1,800 value little mount. So why is this mount, when it's lower quality than anything this game has ever produced, somehow the most expensive mount that has ever been put on the crown store? And it has been speculated that this is mostly due to the inflation of crowns. Now, that wouldn't make sense if everything in the crown store had adjusted for inflation. Having one thing just randomly be incredibly high really does not make sense a whole much. What this really seems like, at least from a person looking outside into this whole thing, because I really don't give a shit about crown motifs, the only thing I really cared about was the straw arms that looked cool. But the elk, looking in on this purely looks like just extortion of a enthusiastic community for ZeniMax. Now, while the community doesn't have to do this doesn't affect core gameplay, it sets really a terrible precedent for ZeniMax, where they can push out lower grade material, lower grade content, and expect to get a bigger return on it. This does not promote any sort of healthy environment, especially if it starts affecting other areas of the game. While it may be a long shot of it affecting other areas, if it's just affecting the crown store, this is still pertinent to the people who interact with the crown store, because this is basically ZeniMax doing less work and expecting an insanely high return. Insanely high. And this is worse than what they did with the Stalwart motif, because at least they actually reduced the price on Stalwart motif, while not accurately, at least they did it. because that, shows somewhat of a trend. This one's just a no-hole bar, just ram you up the asshole type of deal. Pardon for my language, but this is quite irritating to really see a low-quality mount be pushed for $32 up to $45 minimum. I've been subscribed to this game since April of 2014, and to see shit like this happening gets underneath my skin. And based on the community reaction, very, very, very few people actually agree with ZeniMax on this. Very few people are defending it. I defended them when they were pushing out crown crates, because at least they put effort into those mounts and to everything in this. This, what they're pushing and shoving onto this is absolutely ridiculous. There is no way I could justify this in any sense. Yeah, while there may have been a crown sale prior to this, a 40% cost reduction in crowns does not mean you can just suddenly start charging 250% more for your base items just so that you can actually, adjust for inflation. That's not how you adjust for inflation. You don't you don't punch back with a baseball bat when there's just a fly in the room. You're going to put a hole in the wall and you're going to end up pissing off a lot of people. And if you can't tell, I am slightly irritated, because at least I actually sound like I have emotion in my voice for once. That's a first. That's how you know something has gone fucking awry. This is... I want to stop myself before I get irritated again. I'll start lashing out on the forums soon enough, as is, but... I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Is the charge of 4,500 crowns, which is roughly $32 to $45, worth the price of an Elk Mount, which is lacking basic features of a mount? Tell me what you think about in the comments below. Well, either way, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.